Hey guys, my name's Aaron, and today we're going to model our Adirondack chair in SketchUp. Now I went looking online, and Adirondack chairs are one of those things that I don't know, everybody who does any kind of woodworking, I think, makes sooner or later. A lot of people come up with their own designs and change one thing, and so uh, I don't know if there's a standard. I was able to find an image as part of a free plan set from Anna White. I'll link to her website down below. And it's a free plan set. It's actually step-by-step building instructions too. It's a great little project. So if you watch this and go, hey, that'd be a cool chair, I'd like to have that, you can click on the link below and you'll be able to go see the exact steps it takes. And then she has everything, material list, that sort of thing. But I wasn't really interested in building it because I don't build on this channel. We model stuff in SketchUp. So I was able to find a picture of the 3D model that Anna created to create her instructions, and we're going to use that specific model and go model it ourselves. So let's hop in. All right, so because we are going to model this, I'm going to start with importing an image, and I'm going to import it as a match photo image. So it's going to be imported. We're going to actually set the vanishing lines, and then we'll go off of that picture in 3D space to do most of the modeling. I will end up hopping back and forth between the referenced image and the model itself to get all the pieces made, but this is a good way to see how to do this. This can be done with a photo. This one particular happens to be, I believe it's a SketchUp model in 3D. So I'm going to come here to import, and I'm going to grab that image. I'm going to make sure use as new matched photos turned on, and I'm going to import it. So this is the image we're working with. So some of the important stuff you need to check when you look at an image. This is not straight on. You can't use match photo for a straight on image. In that case, just import it as an image and model over it like it's a chalk drawing on the ground. It's also not isometric. Isometric is when there is no vanishing points. Everything is the same. The length of this will always be the same length as this, because nothing vanishes. In this case, you can see, looking at these two, look at the two handrails right here, and you can kind of see how they just slightly angle back towards each other. This one's a little more open. This one's a little more wider out. This one's a little more closed into the chair. This one's a little wider out because of that vanishing. Because of that, what I can do is I can grab these green lines and align them to two lines that are going this direction. There we go. And the other one, I'll use the bottom of the chair for the feet. They don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a continuous line. It has to be a line along which geometry continues. So the fact that this is a separate piece doesn't cause a problem for me as long as that's one continuous line. Up here, it does happen to be one continuous line. I just missed the end right there. I don't have to go endpoint to endpoint either. I can run this long like this. That is perfectly fine. A lot of times I do that because it's a little easier than trying to, I can just look where that runs. Little quicker, a little easier. This way, we're going across the front. So I'm going to grab, this is going to come to here. This one's going to come to about here. And this is the way I normally do this with Match Photo, is I'll go in and I'll slap down my lines initially, and then I usually zoom in and fine tune. So over here, again, I'll probably pull a little bit past, make sure it's just running across that black line. This one was pretty close. And then this one will just kind of go like that. All right, perfect. Go back and check that first point. Yep, awesome. This one right here, gonna go a little bit like that. And then over here, I'll probably just grab that. And when there's 2 points like this, I try not to drop it right here because it can be hard to pick up later. So this is a spot I will definitely run it long and make sure that if I needed to adjust it, I could adjust it there. All right, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my point right here. And this is another spot. I want this point to be right here on this point. So I'll probably grab that green and maybe pull that along like that. And then I'll grab my origin point and I'm going to put it right on that point there. So a couple things I can look at. This front leg is vertical and it is aligning, my axis is vertical also. That looks good. So all of this looks pretty good right now. What doesn't look good, of course, is it's huge, right? This is too big. Sri's about a person tall and this is much larger. So what I can do is I can click on this blue axis right here and slide this up and down until it's about the right size. I say about the right size. We'll make it exactly the right size. Right now, I just want to get in the ballpark and that looks good. I'm going to hit enter. and click, and there we go. So now I have this scene where it shows this. Unfortunately, Sri is going to cause issues for me, so I'm going to have to say goodbye to Sri. All right, so I said this is about the right size, but it's not perfect. If I want perfect, what I have to do is I'm going to have to go draw a line from about here to along the red axes to right here, and then take my tape measure tool. I'm going to hit the modifier key to toggle off drawing anything and click from here to here. It currently tells me that is 2 foot 4 3/4. I'm going to tell it make that 22.5 inches. Enter. Do I want to scale the model? Yes. And now if I check from here to here and look down the lower right corner, and it says it's 110.5, which is 22.5 inches. All right, so at this point, I have a pretty good setup. So I'm going to start modeling. I'm going to start right here, start the origin, and I'm going to go over this way. I know that these are 2x4s because one of the things that is cool that attracted me to this specific model is the frame is all made out of conventional framing lumber, which if you guys know me, I'm kind of basic in that I just love some basic lumber, some just some framing lumber off the rack. So I'm going to go this way, 1.5, enter. I'm going to come this way and come back right here. That should be around 3.5. Yep, 3.5. I'm not clicking. I'm typing the number in that I want to go across because I don't want it to round. So this time I'm going to come back across the red axis. If I hold down Shift while I'm on the red axis and move towards this first axis, it'll snap to 1.5. And I'll click here, close that up. Okay, there's the bottom of my foot. And then I can just pull this up to where I need it to be. So I'm coming up to about here. And I'm just looking at my dimension as I pull that up, and it looks like maybe it's around 1.8. There's a little bit of an overhang right here with this. So I'm going to type in 1 foot 8, and that's going to be the height of that leg. There we go. If I look at it in 3D, looks good, looks beautiful. All right, back into our match photo. I'm going to triple click this, and I'm going to make it a component. I'm just going to call it front leg. There we go. I got a front leg. So that's going to end up getting copied right over here. I'm not going to do it right now, but that's the eventuality of what will happen with this is I'll use that again and again. All right. So it looks like if I was to come right here and run this out slightly, like a 1/2 inch, 0.5. Whoops. This way, come out on the green axis, 0.5, and then come up. I'm assuming this is a 1x, so I'm going to type in 3/4 inch, and I'm going to come this way. So it's a 1x3, so it's 3.5 inches long. Back down, 1.5, back to here. All right, and that closes that face right there. Now I can take that and just push that back this way until it gets to about there. And then again, I'm going to look in the lower right corner and see where is that. All right, so that is somewhere 2, yeah, let's say 2. I'm going to assume it's 2.5. So I'm going to put it that 2 foot 2.5 inches. Again, I'm not going to wing it when it comes to figuring out, where, well, I'm not going to wing it, but I'm also not going to assume that this is pixel perfect because I know it's not. So I'm going to come about to where it is, and then I'm going to switch to dimensions to make sure the right dimensions are in there. All right, I'm going to right click. I'm going to make this a new component, and I'm just going to call this armrest. And I'm just giving these names that I think make sense to me. All right, next piece, let's put this support underneath here. I'm assuming this is 1.5 inches. So let's see, we'll come across the red axis, hold down Shift. Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches. Now I want this to line up under here, so I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to go right here, come this way, 1.5. I'm going to drop straight down, 1.5. Come back this way. Again, if you're really crafty with the rectangle tool, go ahead and use that. That's great. But I tend to like to use lines as I trace around stuff. I'm assuming this will go back 2 foot 2 to line up with this back here. Yes, 2 foot 2. Boom. That's done. Triple click again. Make component. And I'm just going to call this the arm rest support. Making up tools, or making up names here. All right. That's looking pretty good. The one thing that is not, so I have one, two, three pieces. This one's going to be a little different because you can see this one is actually angled back. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's start by using a dimension we know, right? So if I come here, I'm going to come out. I'm coming out just because I want to be able to see where the line is. I could actually come straight back here, but this I'm going to go 31.5 inches. And that'll take me, boom, right back to that line, and I can come back over and click to the green axis. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because from this corner up to the front here is not 3.5 inches because it's cut on a corner. It's cut diagonally. So how do I figure that out? Well, I'm going to draw a line up here, just on the green axis, and from this point right here, I'm going to come across 1.5. Actually, you know what? Let's do it right here. I'm going to do it on this. I'm probably going to end up adjusting this, but let's go across like this. 1.5, because we know that's how wide it is. That angle cut on this side doesn't mean it doesn't get isn't an angle cut there. Now, what we have to do is we have to figure out, okay, if that's there, then if I come straight up, it's not going to be straight up like this. It's actually going to be turned at an angle like this. So I'm just going to draw that line there. I'm inferencing that angle. Now, if I come right here, rather than draw a line straight back on green, what I can do is I can figure out if I inference over here, it'll give me a snap that's perpendicular. So this edge, I want to draw on this edge, make sure there you go, 3.5. Oh, and that obviously came out incorrect. So okay, I didn't draw that angled line very good. This is one of the dangers of working in a matched photo is you can't always tell where you're snapping things to. So I'm going to come vertical. I'm going to try this again. Look at see when I move that. Look at the red and green axes around there. So that assures me, hopefully, that I'm closer this time. No, that's not happening either. All right, so here's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to click right here, and I am going to attempt to snap. This is snapping on the front edge. I don't necessarily want that though. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hide this one. I'm going to, let's draw a reference. Let's draw a construction line. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab this line. I'm gonna click here, pull it over to right here, and then I'm gonna hide this edge. So now, and then I'm gonna also hide this piece. So there is my line. So what that means is from this point, I'm going to come up along this until I hit that. There we go. Now that line is that should make up that piece. See, it's hitting on the inside there. Is that how it's supposed to? Yeah, it's supposed to line up underneath there. Perfect. That's what I want. Now I'm going to come right here. I'm going to say, okay, if I look at this sideways, perpendicular to that is going to be difference again right there. So that's what we want to go, 3.5. And that line now, if I continue this up parallel, we'll run it up like that, and then I can cut it across like that. That is 3.5. So that is the one that will continue on down like that, like that. There's my angle cut. And then I can take that and push that across 1.5, and there's my angled leg. I can get rid of that extra geometry here and here. And let's go back in and make sure that all lines up. Boom. That looks, I don't like to say perfect, but that looks perfect. The problem, of course, is that it needs to go longer, right? So it should line up with the top of this. So what I could do is I grab a line, pull it over like that, and then I can just run this a little longer. There we go. Obviously, lots of ways you could fill this in. I could not push-pull. Push-pull is always going to pull at 90 degrees to the surface, so I can't do an angled look like that, but I could have moved, I could have copied, I could have pulled that face up. It's SketchUp. You can do what you want. Apparently, I'm in a line drawing phase of my SketchUp career right now. I'm going to grab that, make a new component, and call it the back leg. Done. All right. So let's get everything else turned back on. So I'm going to go into unhide all. That'll give me my two pieces back. So I have 1/2 of this done. I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to make it into a group. And I'm not going to call it anything because it's just a group. I don't have to name groups. So I'm going to put that right there. Now what I'm going to look at is this right here. Let's click right here and bring the mouse up just to see where are we at if I come to about here. So that is right about 10 and a quarter. All right, so I'm going to tell it to go up 10.25. And then I know this length because it's labeled right here. So I'm going to go from that point, I'm going to come across this way, 22.5, enter, and then I'm going to come straight up. Again, 3.5, nice nominal lumber there to there. And then, whoops, I just want to get rid of this one extra edge, not that whole group. And then I'm assuming this is just a 2x, so I'm just going to push it back like this. 1.5, enter, and then I will triple click that, make that into a new component, and I'm just going to call that the front. And then what I can do is grab this group right here, and I can mirror this whole group, a copy of it, right across the middle of this piece right here. Boom. So look at, that's what we got right now. Pretty quick, pretty easy. All right, let's go back in the screenshot. There's a couple more important pieces that we got to get in here. One is this piece that kind of goes across and down. This is tricky because from this view, this is not simple to figure out how to draw in. So I probably won't actually put it in here. What I will put in here is this first board right here, which I'm guessing is coming up 3/4 of an inch. So let's see, 3/4, not 3/5. There we go. That comes straight across to here, down to here, across to here. And they'll take that face and push it across. And what is that? That's about 3.5. All right, so 3.5. So we have another 1x4 right here. So I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna make that into a component. That is my seat piece. It's early in the morning, it's recording this. I'm not firing all cylinders, I admit that. All right, so the next thing we have, so that looks good. Now what we have in this, it's hard to tell because actually I should probably just, let me temporarily just hide this for a second. So this piece comes back, the bottom hits the corner right here, and then it comes up and has a little bit of an angle cut so that it sits underneath here and then slopes down. That's awesome. It's probably not ideal to try to draw from here, but I can go out, hop out, draw it in just where I need to. So I can come in here and start drawing some lines and go, okay, so this is gonna come up from here to somewhere up here. Maybe that'll work. How long is that? That's 3.5 inches. So let's see what that would look like. If I come here, I'm gonna, again, at 40 or 9 degrees to there, I'm gonna say 3.5, boom. And then let's go match my angle there, shift, bring that up. That hits right about there. So it needs to be a little bit more of a tilt. I can possibly do this. Let's go here to here. All right, there we got a surface. And then I can rotate it from here to where this would hit here. Ooh, a little bit off. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna rotate that down ever so slightly. I want it to just meet. I'm gonna right there, right about there. That works for me. Then I'm gonna take this one long to here, up to here, over to here, and then I can triple click this, and we'll start by making that into a component. And I'm just gonna call this the angled piece. There's only one of them. And if I triple click in there, I can take that and bring it in 1.5. I think I got some messy geometry in different places here that I want to clean up. Oh, hey, how about a back to start with? Let's close this thing up. Then I'm gonna trace across there, across the back of the leg, push it across. That lines up perfectly. Up here, I think I got some geometry inside of here. So I think what I want to do is I'm gonna go to View, Component, Edit, hide rest of model real quick. Yeah, there we go. Let's get that cleaned up. All right. I like that. I like the way that looks. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to make a copy of it from here to here. That looks good. And then I'm going to go back up to Edit, Unhide All to get me my other legs back. Beautiful. That is a thing of beauty. I like it. And we can double check it to make sure it's in the right spot by clicking right here. And that should line up very close. Nice. All right. Now I got to put this back on. Before I put the back on, I do want to get these slats on the seat. I think there's 4 of them because I see 3 right here, and I'm assuming there's 1 more there. So let's go ahead and grab this one and copy it down here. That'll indicate where this goes, which will get us where we can figure out where the rest of the pieces are. So I'm going to grab this piece. I'm going to move it from here, Option, of course, to right where these 2 meet. So right there. Whoops. I put it on top. That's not going to work. This is going to go right here, and then I will rotate it. Oops. Grab it from that corner right there. Rotate it flat like that. And then we're going to make 3 copies. I don't want to make the copies like nudge up against each other. I do want a little bit of a gap, like maybe a 1/4 inch gap. So I'm going to come here. I'm just going to draw a line, 0.25, enter, and that'll work. I'll grab this one then. Option copy to here. 3x will give me 3 copies. All right, there is the rest of that. Perfect. Again, we can double check. Let's see how close we are here. Well, not a bad guess. It's possible there's a little more of a, maybe this piece actually may have gone like this and then pulled this down another 1/4 inch to assure a gap right here, because I didn't have a gap before, so that might be a little closer. Let's see. This is an important point I just want to bring up. While I save, which I haven't done yet, oh, come on. When you are modeling in, I guess I can't type and talk. When you're modeling in Match Photo, don't expect to do all of your modeling from here. This is a great reference to refer back to, but do remember that you're gonna hop back and forth, and that's fine. That's a good thing. All right, so here I have a line telling me that this chair, the toppest part, is 36 inches. So I'm gonna draw a line up 36 inches. Then I'm gonna go hop over here. Actually, no, I'm gonna check one more thing. How wide are these boards? I'm assuming these are 1x4s as well. No, I'm sorry, they're 1x3s. They are 2 1/4. Okay, so these are smaller pieces. I wonder if I made these too big. That's possible. But here's what I'm going to look at. I'm going to come up here. All right, so this is how high I want to go. Let's see, how do I want to model this? Well, I guess we can just come back here like this. No, here, let's go back in here. This has kind of an arbitrary length right here. Let's see. Looks like we're back 4 inches. So I'll go back 4 inches. And then I will go up 36. And that, if I take that over to the middle of the chair, that should be the middle of the top of my slat. So if I, what was it, 2 1/4? 2.25. I'm just gonna make a rectangle out of that real quick. Just as a, whoops, that was exactly what I was trying not to do. All right, I'm gonna draw this over here. 2.25, and then I'm just gonna draw a line down. Just, again, just making a rectangle right now. And we'll push pull it 3/4 of an inch. I'll triple click, make that a new component. Back piece. And then I will grab that from the middle, and we'll just test this right now. If I put that right there and go here, how does that line up? All right, not quite, not quite. Something's a little off. I think I got the length off for sure. That should be 3.5 inches. Okay. I don't know, guys. I saw a number somewhere, but hey, this is an opportunity for us to learn how to do things, right? Sure, why not? All right, so what I'm gonna do is outside of context, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna draw a line that is 3.5 inches. And then I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna go toggle off, view, component edit, hide rest of model, because I wanna inference this and go click to right here. There we go. I get rid of that. Now I can take this and move it from the middle to right here, and then we'll check that that one more time. Much better. Now, what I want to do is I want to rotate this and rotate it on the red from the middle there to the middle here, and I want that to rotate up until it hits this. That's where my back's going to go, I think. Let's check that. Oh, hope you like perfect. I'm going to take that then. I'm going to push-pull that down to here. A little bit of adjustment because that should hit there. So I'll come back out here and rotate that again. We'll get back on the middle, the red axis. Get rid of these edges. Rotate that, the middle, the red axis. Come down here, and I'm going to turn on X-ray temporarily. Whoops. I hit zoom instead of X-ray, so I got to go grab this point again. All right, here we go. I'm going to hop down here, grab the middle of this piece right here, and bring it out so it hits. See, so here I'm going to want to not just go there. I'm going to give it another, just enough to get another little space there. Again, I don't want water pooling between these two pieces, so I'm going to rotate it back to right there. I'm going to take this, I'm just going to do this right now, 0.25, and I'm going to take this, and these will get cut. I'm going to turn off X-ray at this point too. Option to here, to X, there we go. And then I will get rid of that, and then grab this and this, and I can say move that from this point, a relative move, gives me the space on that side too. And there we go. That's our back. There's no arc cut into it yet, but there we go. That is the pieces I need for the back. Now, a couple pieces left. I need a piece, I believe I'm going to have a piece here tying this together at the bottom, and then another one coming up and tying it to the arms. I can see the one for the arms right here. I can't quite see what's underneath here to tie it together, so I'm going to have to guess a little bit. There's a couple ways I could do this too. I think, yeah, probably running them a little bit long. I'm just going to run them well long right now. There we go. And then a piece that sits right here. Maybe this is just a 1x1 again, or 2x2. So 1.5, and then perpendicular to that line, 1.5. Come back this way, perpendicular to the end, 1.5, 1.5. And then you take that, run it out to here, run it out to here, triple click, make that into a new component. I'm just going to call this a brace because I know it's a word I haven't used yet. I like to use all my words every day. I'm going to click right here, option copy that, and then we'll come up here. Let's see. Actually, I wonder if I could probably do this and match. If I can get back on axis. There we go, right to, no, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'll have to get it approximately in place, and then I could scoot it. So let's go, I'm gonna go to this view right here. I'm gonna turn on X-ray, so I'm gonna stay there. That's about in the middle there. All right, and then this one is going to make unique, and I'm going to call it, because it's going to give it a number automatically. Let's just say number 1, and I'm going to say brace long, and then I'll come here, push pull this side over to here, turn off X-ray, come here, push pull that over to here. All right, and there we go. All right, that technically wraps up our model. From here, of course, we could take this piece and we could put some flare on it, put some rounded corners. We could, of course, round off that back, give it that Adirondack-y look. If we wanted to, we could even add another slat right here, cut it small here, and then have it flare out if we wanted to add that, bigger look. But in basic, this is if I look right here, let's see how, I'm a little off on the, just slightly. They brought that down so it was hitting the edge. I had it right, so it was centered in the closer centered in the board. But you can see we came. Oh, there's one more piece. I got one more piece across the back here. Don't want to cut sell anything short here. So let's go this way like this. We'll come down on here, 3.5. Come across to here, up to here, and go this way, 0.75, 3/4 of an inch. Triple click, and just call that, I'm going to call that a back brace because it's bracing the back of the chair. All right, so there we go. Pretty good. Like I said, a lot of talking, but pretty good, pretty simple. What we could do from here, we made each of these components an individual named piece. I'm going to take these two and explode them. I don't know, no point to keep them separate right now. I could do a report on each of these to get the lengths of all the pieces. Let me know if you're interested in that down in the comments, and I'll make that video showing how to use generate report to get that report list out. From there too, if we wanted to, we could actually go make some simple instructions in layout. Let me know if you think that would be worth doing. Yeah, pretty cool chair. Thank you to Anna White for putting amazing free content like this up on her website. There's other projects besides this one. I suggest you check those out, and maybe let us know if you ever built one of those, or if you build this. Let us know in the comments. That was a little bit longer. That was close to half an hour. So, but sometimes you get in the flow and you got to keep going, you know. Pretty cool chair. I like the design a lot. It's simple. It goes together. Yeah, let me know what I should do with it next. You want to see generate report? You want to see layout? Tell me about it down in the comments. If you like that video, click like down below. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. We're creating several videos each and every week, and you'll be notified of all of them if you subscribe. Most importantly, though, do leave us a comment. Like I said, tell us what you think of this. Tell us what we should do with it next. Let us know if you have other ideas, things we should model or workflows we should show. Love to hear about it. We'll get it done. We'll get it here on the channel. We like making these videos a lot. We like to make more when they're showing something you want to see. Thank you.